What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Friday, November 7th, 2025, and we are here at the northern threshold of runway 18 left, the Aalsmeerbaan primary runway for departures right now. I was here already quite some time, but it was densely fogged. Only in the last half hour to 45 minutes has it begun to clear up a little, just in time. Just in time. Marja, goedenavond. Wolfgang, good morning. And welcome to the show, everybody else who already joined. If you already joined, if you were already waiting, you're in luck, because you'll be witnessing this live. Low visibility means different runway conditions. As long as these conditions last, I think this will be the primary runway for departures, and 24 will be the secondary runway for outbound traffic. So hopefully that'll also give us departures here at 11 and 1. Boom boom, flex flex. Nippon on its way to Frankfurt. Lance Planes and More celebrating 13 months of membership. Mate, thank you for the ongoing support. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. Hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come, Lance. If anything is amiss in the lounge, let me know and let me see what I can do to make things better. This is KLM flight 597, which is going to leave for Cape Town in South. 777-300. This is the Bravo Victor W BVW. Visibility has significantly improved compared to what it was here an hour ago. Everything was completely grey, but the sun is burning things away, luckily. He-Man Graphics, good morning. Jan, goedemorgen. Ray, goedemorgen. Super Eminent, goedemorgen. Merijn, goedemorgen. Ray, goedemorgen. Marjan, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined. Hope you're doing well. It's busy here because this is now the only runway in use for outbound traffic. Oh, wing fluff. Things are opening up drastically. It was so densely fogged here that when I arrived here and up until 45 minutes ago, you couldn't even see the airplanes, not even the lights. I heard them, I wasn't able to see them. Visibility was so low. Things have significantly improved, luckily. Have a look, we have a sizable queue here with wide bodies, narrow bodies. Beautiful Itas. Rush hour. Air France flight 1795 to Lyon. Lined up right now. Hey Simi, goedemorgen. Good morning. Dalia, goedemorgen. Jebbe Slijm, goedemorgen. Peter, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. Ramon, good morning. Scafolia, good morning. Peter, goedemorgen. Jannes, goedemorgen. Tina, goedemorgen. Busy, busy, busy. I think my horizon can be a bit more upright, even though my spirit level says I should be more or less level. Visually this looks better. KLM to Prague, lining up right now. No, wait, this is KLM to Hanover, the Embraer 175. Leaves us with Ita. And behind Ita, El Al to Tel Aviv. And after that, KLM flight 741 to Bogota. Anaconda, goedemorgen. Barry, goedemorgen. Han, goedemorgen. John, good morning, mate. And indeed, a banana. But it is a smaller banana than we are used to. I've seen them before.
This shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
But I don't think we've seen them live in the stream. I think this is a premiere. But I have seen them coming and going to Schiphol before, just not live. Paper Chase, good morning. Jamuis, good morning. Marijke, goedemorgen. Ekkie, good morning. Hans Worst, goedemorgen. Super Eminent says, talking about the spirit level, how's the vodka supply today? Well, we have ample. Let me pour me a small glass. Ita Airways lining up right now. KLM to Bogota in the background. Nice color contrast with DHO in the background. 737. Deblom, goedemorgen. Nico, goedemorgen. Frits, goedemorgen. And thank you so much for your continued support as a member. Thank you so much, Frits. 3 months and counting. Hope that everything in the lounge is to your liking still. If not, let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better. So you might be wondering, boy, what does the big picture overview look like? Well, luckily blue sky is visible. That's why I also stuck around. I was here already around 8:15, I think. But by then everything was still monotonously gray. Looking up, I was able to see the blue sky, so that's why I was sticking around a little. I was hoping things would open up. Luckily that happened sooner than I had thought. Contrails visible. So yeah, big picture overview, this is what things look like. You can see it's promising to become a beautiful day. Not a lot of wind, as you can see by the windsock. Hey Martien, goedemorgen. Martinair, goedemorgen. Mr. Blue Sky, good morning. Next up, El Al to Tel Aviv, flight 338. No anti-missile systems visible on the outside of this airplane. Next airplane to leave here will be this 787-10 to Bogota, which is in Colombia, and that is right next to. If you guys are enjoying the show already, don't forget to leave a like if you want to help the channel grow, and subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams, upcoming announcements, pictures, polls, whatnot. Morning sunshine illuminating the Dreamliner to Bogota. Premiere for DHL with the 737 on stream. It's going to be a Tui Dreamliner today. Hey Sven. Goedemorgen. Good morning one and all. We still have a queue over here. Next up will be KLM, flight 741 to Bogota in Colombia. (787-10) Dreamliner. This is the Papa Hotel Bravo Kilo Golf. First flight was in January 2020, making this airplane 5 years old. It's the Hyacinth. Bouquet, not bucket. Matt, goedemorgen. T-Bolt, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined. You're watching AMS Live still. My name is Boya. We are here at the northern threshold of 18 left, which is now the only runway for outbound traffic due to low visibility. So fingers crossed it's going to stay a bit marginal today so that we can see departures from here throughout the show. I'm very curious to see what will happen come 11. Channel premiere, DHL 737.
The shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Going to Leipzig. DHL with the call sign 38 Lima. And this is a 737-800. First flight was in January 2002. This makes this airplane 23 years old. Spanish registered, interestingly. Shiny Crossbow, good morning. Hey, Jendrosik, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you again, mate. So yeah, it was grey and not sunny here before. Now things are opening up a little. It's promising to become a beautiful day here. I was hoping to do an early stream, arrived here early, but it was still completely shut. The fog was so dense I couldn't even see the airplanes here. I could only hear them. Not even the lights could I see. Gary Grebe was also there. He just dove under. Mother ducker. Did he re-emerge over there? Not sure. It's definitely... Oh yeah, that's Gary Grebe, all right. Mother ducker. Well, the reason for the hold-up is a BizJet taking off from runway 22. Even that already is visible, so it's definitely opening up rapidly. Lovely weather here. Right now, this runway is the only one open, so I'm thinking this Delta is also coming this way, or has it arrived? I think it has arrived. Oh, yeah. Spoke too soon. Or is runway 24 now also open? Don't think so. Two geese over here, low level pass. Maybe you guys picked them up on the mic. Oh wait, no, now I see that looking in this point of view. I think that the runway over there where I am looking, where we're looking them straight in the face, is a bit crooked, because now what my spirit level says should be level also looks like level. Schiphol is just a crooked place. Talking about crooked, we have a cheater on Cheater's Lane, and oh, I spoke too soon. Runway 24 is now also open for departure, so already they have gone back to normal runway operations. You can see that KLM Flight 605 to San Francisco is taking off from runway 24, and the flight to Curacao is already over there, so it's back to normal runway operations, which probably means that come 1 o'clock there will be an hour of nothing over here, so it's probably going to be a very short stream then. That's also the reason why I went over here early. I was hoping visibility would be good enough so that I could start the stream, for instance, at 9 and stream from 9 till 1. Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll catch a lucky break. Maybe they will keep this runway open between 1 and 2. I'm not counting on it, but we'll see. If not, just a short stream today. KLM to Nantes, Air France up Embraer 190. Lined up is an airplane that is no longer showing on flight radar. And since I wasn't paying attention, I'm not sure where this is going to. The airplane looking me in the face also isn't showing on flight radar, so I don't know where that will be going to. The airplane behind it is going to Budapest. That's what I can see right now. Good morning, Michael. And Captain Jerry, good morning, mate. Hope you're doing well, Jerome. All things considered, of course. And thank you so much for your super chat. Watch for airplanes Oberder. Oberder? Over here. Over there. Not exactly sure. Not exactly sure what you're meaning by that, Jerry. Could you elaborate, perhaps? Either way, thank you so much for the support, mate. You didn't have to use the super chat, but thank you for doing it. And good morning, Sheila. Sheila also back. Ah, Lufty to Frankfurt in the Star Alliance livery. Right, Lufty Flight 987 A320 to Frankfurt. The Dales Delta Alpha India Zulu Hotel. 15 years old, first flight June 2010. Mr. F, good morning. Adi Roy, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, one and all. Luckily, the sun has begun to shine over here and has burnt away the nasty fog that we had here. Have a look. I spy with my little eye the PHBVA. My. And the next airplane will be lining up in a moment. Dennis, goedemorgen. I say it jokingly that they have a sixth sense for when a camera is pointed to them, but slowly but surely I'm actually starting to believe my joke. Happy to see that not only is Gary Grebe over here, but Chris Coot is here as well. Chris Coot and Gary Grebe back where we want to see them, in the water here in our vicinity. Another cheater on Cheater's Lane. That's KLM flight 1451 to Toulouse. Captain Jerry doing well if he ignores the pain. I hope you're not in too much pain. Make sure that you ask for painkillers if you are in too much pain. Captain Cringe asks if I will be there when he'll be leaving with Delta to Atlanta. I will be here still, but you will be leaving via runway 24. So we're not going to see your departure in detail. We might see you as you have taken off, popping up behind the tower in the background, climbing out. But that is about it. Unless you happen to taxi right by in the background from where we're standing. And Egil is celebrating his first month of membership. Congratulations, mate. Thank you for the support. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. Upwards and onwards, mate. This is KLM flight 1629 to Venice. Yo, bro. Captain was looking in my direction. I waved to him, but guess he didn't see or didn't want to see. KLM flight 1629 to Venice. And after that we are going to see KLM flight 1475 to Nice, which is nice. Gary Grebe diving under. And Chris Coot is doing his morning cardio as always. Bum bum. And that's the crossing of runway 097. And this is KLM flight 1475 to Nice, which is nice. 737-800. Good morning, Roxana, and good morning all others who may have joined us. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and we are here at the northern threshold of runway 18 left. Dense fog in the morning. I had hoped to begin early, but had to start a bit later. In the end, still at the normal time we started. Now, unfortunately, normalcy has returned. Normal runway operations already in progress, which means that runway 24 is still open or has reopened again. This morning, when the visibility was low, it was a north-south runway configuration, and to the extent that visibility was there, that is a good thing, because then you see action here non-stop. Right now, as it's looking like, with normal operations, we are going to see the closure of this runway from 11 till 11:40 temporarily, and then once again for a full hour from 1 till 2. I'm hoping that the latter will not happen, but I am fearing for it. Probably means that around 1 o'clock this stream will end, unless of course runway use is going to change, but I'm not counting on it. Meanwhile, Marijn Smit has become our latest Aurora Skylines member. Mate, thank you so much for the support and for your vote of confidence. If you need to know where stuff is, ask around. Many have gone before you and will happily show you the way. Make sure to have fun with those custom emojis that you now have at your disposal. Spamming isn't allowed, but members are all allowed to use the custom emojis as much as they want, so get creative with them, have fun with them, and make us laugh with them. Goedemorgen Joop, alles oké, dankjewel. Met jou ook? Erik, goedemorgen. C3, passing by in the foreground. And this is Austrian flight 312, which will be returning to Vienna, capital of Austria. It's an A320. This particular one is 17 years old already, first flight April 2008. It's the OELXB Lima X-Ray Bravo. I am also hearing a helicopter. You think that the captain is looking in this direction twice? I was waving when I saw him looking. Nope, no dice. I am hearing a helicopter left of me. Or is it from behind? Looking around, not seeing it immediately. Bump. There we go. The crossing of runway 0927. Always the same. Ah, Oberdier. That's your accent. I already thought it was meaning something, it meant something like that, but I wasn't sure, so that's why I thought I'd double check, just to be sure. Well, over here we are definitely watching airplanes. I'm glad that we can see them again. It was so weird being here this morning. I was sitting in my car, looking on Flight Radar. I could see that there was supposed to be a Delta A330 lining up, and I didn't see it. I was hearing it. I could also feel the rumble when its engine spooled up, but couldn't see a thing. Vienna, the unfriendliest people in Austria. I like I like how Austrians say that people from Vienna are the unfriendliest people of the nation. A lot of people in the Netherlands say that of people who live in Amsterdam. A lot of Belgians say it of people living in Antwerp. That is so funny. And I think that French also say it of Parisians. Why is it that this is happening? Right, well, with current runway used, everything going to the east should be taking off via this runway. That means that everything going to the west, unfortunately, will be taking runway 24. I do see that there is an airplane to Kilimanjaro on flight radar. It has already been pushed back. Should be coming this way pretty soon. This is looking like an Airbus passing overhead. Flying south to north. And I think over there is a departure from runway 24. Where was I seeing it? Lower. There it is. That's Air Baltic, quite clearly recognizable. Red Wine Express is coming up, Air France, but it is KLM flight 1441 to Bordeaux. Air France up. But actually KLM flight 1441 to Bordeaux. It's an Embraer 190. And this is the Hubbles Foxtrot Hotel Bravo Lima Zulu. 13 years old, somewhere in 2012 is when it first began to fly. Hey Gilberto, good morning mate. Good to see you again. Artem, good morning. And welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. If you joined us later, you must have missed the departure of a Queen, a 7478 Nippon Cargo. What was it, to Frankfurt, I think? Took off in the first 5 minutes of the show. Make sure to check that back if you came in later. If you're enjoying the show thus far, don't forget to leave a like if you want to help the channel grow. And make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams and other announcements such as polls, pictures, and whatnot. So yeah, a bit hazy, but things are opening up. Engines being started. Delta on the move. Delta Airlines flight 143 to Seattle. Undoubtedly on its way to runway 24. It's also looking like KLM flight 567 to Kilimanjaro has begun moving. And Wolfgang says KC 135 passing right over the airport east to west in a few moments. I think I have it right behind me, which is good. Means we have good contrast. I think this is the contrail of said airplane. Think this, yeah, this is it. Thanks for the heads up, Wolfgang. Now, somewhere over there, the orange Pride has been parked. We saw it getting towed to a gate. Expected to leave later in the morning, I think, or end of the morning, beginning of the afternoon. This is KLM Flight 567 to Kilimanjaro. It's a 787-10 Dreamliner and should be headed this way. So for those of you joining us later, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we're here at the northern threshold of 18 left. One of two runways in use for departures right now. It has been very misty this morning when I arrived here, and I arrived early. I was hoping to start early so that we could stream from 9 till 1. But when I arrived here at 8:15, it was gray. This runway was in use, but I couldn't see the airplanes, not even the lights, the taxi lights I could see. Luckily things have opened up. As you can see, most of the sky blue, a few cirrus clouds here and there. Hardly any wind, which is also why there was fog to begin with. Now they're expecting the same for tomorrow. We'll see. So with current runway configuration in place, this runway will be used for another 35 minutes or so until approximately 11, and then from 11 until 11:40, if all is well, if all isn't well, but on paper, this runway should close for 40 minutes when a inbound rush hour takes place, while an inbound rush hour takes place. Then this runway should reopen again around 11:40 until 1 o'clock, and then from 1 till 2. Nothing is going to happen here, which is probably why today's stream will probably last until approximately 1 o'clock. I hope, of course, I'm wrong in this regard, but I fear I might be right. In the meantime, Captain Jerry, what are you doing, Jerome? Captain Jerry Donnelly just now gifting 10 memberships. You didn't have to do that, mate, but thank you so much for doing it. A warm welcome to the Aurora Skyline's new members. If you are one of the recipients of Captain Jerry's gifted memberships, make sure to say thanks to him. Be sure to enjoy the custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. Jerome, mate, thank you so much for your generosity. You really didn't have to do it. Thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. And welcome to the Aurora Skyline's once again, those new members. 78710, which will be going Kilimanjaro. And Kilimanjaro is a mountain somewhere in Africa. In fact, it is the highest mountain on the continent of Africa. This is the PHBKR Bravo Kilo Romeo. Brand new airplane. Began flying in August this year. Good morning, Graham. Richard, goedemorgen. And welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined us. Another big airplane is coming this way. That will also be going to the continent of Africa. KLM Flight 591 to Johannesburg. You could already hear the and that was from an E2 Embraer, which will be leaving for Bilbao in a moment. Bilbao Baggins in the north of Spain. It's still hazy. No mistake about that. No mistake in that. Here we have a sticker. It's the 1700th E-Jet. Oh my god. Oh my god. And it has a Karen cabin. Very spacious. Now this is a wannabe 777, has very big engines, high bypass, but this is the real deal. This is the real triple. Would the real 777 please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Hadi Paul, goedemorgen. Bram, goedemorgen. And everybody else who may have joined us in the meantime, good morning to you too. You're watching a 777-300 in the face, which is destined to go to Johannesburg in a few moments. You can see how the wheels are leaning to the front. They're a bit crooked. I imagine there's a lot of stress on those wheels when they turn. John Dutch Canadian also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Ini Mini, goedemorgen. Lance, good morning. And welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We began the day with thick mist and fog. Luckily, that cleared up. Oh, think it's the Coast Guard taking off. Yep. Coast Guard Dash 8-100 taking off from runway 22. Turning away, it's going to cross the flight path. Well, the runway, I should say, more appropriately. Well, no, it's probably the flight path, the climb out. Now that it has passed, the triple will probably get clearance soon. Yep, showtime. KLM flight 591 going to Johannesburg in South Africa. Calmness has returned here. No airplanes in the immediate vicinity. The airplanes that you see move are moving away. But there is a Transavia coming this way by the looks of it. Transavia to NA flight 6729. That does seem to be coming this way. And KLM flight 755 to Quito. No, that's going to go to runway 24, unfortunately. Hey, Singapore A350 on taxi. Good news, Wolfgang. Thanks for the heads up. Now that you mention it. Oh no, wait, that's Delta. Not yet is Singapore visible. Transavia is coming this way. Time for me to pour a small glass and drink to the beautiful weather that we have today. Bottoms up, guys. Cheers. Vueling is also coming this way. Hans' favorite. Going to Valencia. And the business jet is taking off from runway 22. No. I was hoping it might have been Singapore, but that's not it. Oh, and there's an A330 with haste. What in the world is going on? Hurry. Well, Transavia is leaving. Still not sure where it's going to go to. Juriaan, goedemorgen. Steven, good morning. DW Wolf, good morning. Chico, good morning. Yeah, I see it on Flight Radar, Wolfgang. I was already looking to see where Singapore was at. It's taking its time. As long as it's leaving before 11. Fueling, welling, wheeling, voiling. Flight 8352 to Valencia. Dot is still in place. Hey Jero, good morning, goedemorgen. Bump incoming. And Fidel Castro is over there, hovering. Hunting for Pinky and the Brine. One's a genius, the other's insane. KLM A321neo is also coming this way. Original Blokkie, goedemorgen, good morning. Spotify. That's also a nice nickname. This is a relocation flight, I think. Training, perhaps? It only has a call sign, KLM 9891 to Trieste. So that's interesting. Are you guys going out for a training flight? Training flight. Now I spy with my little eye an A350 coming this way. Friend Sebastian, guten Morgen. Herzlich willkommen, mate. Ooh, nice. More wide bodies expected still. Emirates 777 and a Tui A350. Are they confirmed for 18 left on CDM already? Oh, Captain Jerry, you didn't have to use a super chat to get your message across, mate, but thank you so much for doing it. Captain Jerry writes that his brother-in-law helps build 777 landing gears. Those Dunlops are pumped up to 15 bar pressure with nitrogen, and the sidewalls of the tire are thick. They need to be if they're pumped up to 15 bars. I didn't know they were pumped up that high. That's a shitload of bars. That's a full liquor bar. Or no, not a full liquor bar. It's a full nitrogen bar. We have KLM flight 1943 to Basel here in the foreground, blocking our view. E2 Embraer. Luckily, no longer in our way. Have a look at this. Hey Christian, goedemorgen. Artem says Big Jet is on final runway 22. Is that so? Is that so? Christian is talking about the Hercules, and I think I might be hearing it. It's not producing a contrail. I'm looking up. Trying to spot an airplane which isn't producing a contrail is like finding a needle in a haystack. Now no longer am I sure where I need to look. I think I heard it. I quite clearly heard it. Singapore Airlines flight 323 to Singapore is what we're now looking at. If you're enjoying a view like this and you want to help the channel grow, make sure to leave a like. If you want to stay updated of upcoming live streams and other stuff, other announcements, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Singapore A350 to Singapore, flight 323. What a beautiful machine. Gurdeep, good morning. Good to see you again, mate. Rally team, goedemorgen, good morning. Bevroren patat, goedemorgen. And welcome all others who have joined us. Yeah, Christian, to have seen the Hercules, I probably would have needed additional help to see it. I was hearing it, but like I said, it's hard to see airplanes if they're not producing a contrail, particularly if they're already at 20 or so thousand feet. Fidel Castro sitting. He just landed there. Oh, what a beautiful bird. Zero on Mike D, good morning mate, welcome back. Perfect timing, you guys are just in time for Singapore Airlines, flight 323 to Singapore. 9-year-old airplane, the 9 Victor Sierra Mike Bravo. There's a cheater on cheater's lane, taking off a bit further down the runway. Airplanes are queuing up here, it's airplane Inception. Spijker, goedemorgen. Martin, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody else who joined us in the meantime. You're watching Singapore Airlines flight 323 being lined up here at the threshold of runway 18 left. Bump up. That's the airplane crossing runway 0927, the Buitenvelderbaan. The one that was closed for such a long time for a complete overhaul earlier in the year. But they didn't take care of the height difference between the two runways. If you joined us later, you missed the Nippon Cargo 747 taking off from here in the first 5 minutes of the show. Have a look at that, and particularly when it crossed the runway, the intersecting runway, you could see those wings flex up and down tremendously. Not surprisingly, because there are 2 engines, of course, attached to each of them. But that was quite spectacular to see. So make sure to watch that in replay at a later moment. The first 5 minutes of the show, Nippon Cargo to Frankfurt took off from this runway. And Tommy is in the EK146 to Dubai. That should be coming this way. Are you seated on the left-hand side then? Because in that case, we might be able to see you. Groucho Kent is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. And warm welcome to everybody else who has joined. Lovely weather here today. Although we began with fog, I had hoped to begin early today. I arrived here early, but it was one homogeneous gray mass here. Couldn't even see the lights of the airplanes when they lined up here this morning. Heard a Delta A330 take off. I felt it. The car trembled, but couldn't see a thing. Luckily, it cleared up quite quickly, but unfortunately, we did begin a little later than I had hoped for. Emirates flight 146 to Dubai is coming this way. And there it is. Now Tommy is on board. Tommy, are you seated on the left-hand side? E2 Embraer 195 over here, in the process of lining up. Oh, and we have a cheater on cheater's lane, KLM 737. Cheeky bastard. It's always KLM, isn't it? Flight 1513 to Barcelona. Good morning, Rominion. Here's the Emirates coming this way. Now there was another wide body coming this way, and we can already see it approaching. Qatar 777 freighter to Doha, and China A350 is also on the move. Thank you for the heads up, Wolfgang. More wide bodies, more heavy hitters coming this way. Hey Joep, goedemorgen. That's also coming this way. And so too is Emirates flight 146 to Dubai. KLM Embraer 175. And the triple in the background. Hey, two triples back to back. Nice.
Get out the way! Get out the way, bitch! Get out the way!
Hey, good morning, John. And Razor013 is celebrating 4 months of membership. Razor, thank you so much for your continued support. I hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know and let me see what I can do to improve things. Hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come. Good morning and thank you so much for your continued support, Razor. Indigo in the background. Is that also coming this way? Or no, that's of course Indito. Just going around the block. Or is it? I don't see a tow truck. Is that Indito coming this way? Have a look at this. If you like 777s like this, don't forget to leave a like and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay informed of upcoming live streams and other announcements. I'm also seeing that there's a quad-engined contrail coming my way from the west. Will probably pass a little north of me. Is that an Emirates A380 or something? Arriving from Manchester, Bursonchester. That certainly looks like it could be an A380. We'll pass relatively close by in the sky by the looks of it, judging where it's flying and where it's headed to. Ah, Indito just landed on the Polderbaan. Thanks for the heads up, Bram. Another BizJet just took off from runway 22, which is why the 737 lined up over here was waiting. Should be taking off pretty soon. And okay, thanks for looking that up. A380 from Chester. There we go. Tommy has to go. Werkse, en thanks for stopping by, mate. Danny, goedemorgen. Tijmen, goedemorgen. Whoa, is there anybody shining the light for us? It doesn't look like it. Or does it? Turning and burning! Haha! Emirates is turning and burning. Hey, Paul is also back in the chat. Good to see you, Paul. Welcome back. For those of you joining us later, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at the northern threshold of runway 18 left, where in the first 5 minutes of today's show, a Nippon Cargo 747 took off. If you missed that, be sure to watch that back, the first 5 minutes of the show. Glorious to see. Bobbers, good morning. Senna, good morning. And Vincent, good morning. Thank you so much for the continued support, mate. 20 months a member and counting. Hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come. I hope that everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know. Bumper to bump, bump, bump. Chinese A350 is also coming this way. Looking angrily, doesn't want to go back to China, presumably. But where will it go to? Will it go to China? Flight radar says question mark. A surprise destination. You buy your ticket, but you don't know where you'll end up at. (737) angry looking A350 and another Transavia 737. China Airlines. I'm not sure if it's going to Taiwan or to China. It doesn't say it anywhere. It's still NA. Flight 74, wasn't that to Taiwan? To Taipei? Taipei, right? Yeah. Thought so. The view we're about to get should be good. A350 right behind the 737. Hey, Mark H is also back. Tuning in from Hong Kong. Good evening, mate. Hope you've had a good one today. Indeed, Captain. Captain Jerry remarking that this is a great emoji for this runway. Bumpy landing, but it might also go as a bumpy takeoff. Serve as a bumpy takeoff emoji. Spring is in the air.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
Anyway, Captain Jerry, thank you so much for the super chat. Almost forgot it was a super chat. You really didn't have to use a super chat to get your message across. Check, check. And here we have the thumbnail of a few streams back. China Airlines flight 74 to Taipei in Taiwan, which according to China is part of China, but the rest of the world seems to differ. Nine-year-old airplane, first flight September 2016. It's the Bravo 18901. Rob, goedemorgen. Mr. Mika, good morning. Chinese A350. And I'm thinking this is probably going to be the last airplane for now, or since it is 11 o'clock right now. Niels also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Domstad, guten Morgen und herzlich willkommen. Brother Patat going to work out. Good plan. Enjoy and see you later. Question now is, what will happen to the runway lights? Well, I have our answer already. They've gone off. Means that for the next 40 minutes, nothing is going to happen here except for tuggers and taxi. It's 40 minutes and then this runway will reopen again around 11:40. And until approximately 1 o'clock. We can still see the tuggers. You can see that there's somebody in the cockpit as well. right? A few people over there on the cycling path as well. That's the downside of coming here when there are no runways in maintenance. You have these stints where not much is going on. You still see a lot of action on the apron, of course. That is, of course, a good reason to be sticking around here. Veronique also back in the morning. Good morning. Sven, goedemorgen. A few people on the panorama rooftop terrace over there. You can see them. James the Top Cat, good morning. Welcome back. Somewhere over there, there is the Orange Pride. We saw it momentarily when it was getting pushed back. Is that? No, that's not it, is it? No, that's not it. Oh, wait, there it is. We have found it. The BVA. It was being towed to a gate. There it is. Big picture overview. It's looking lovely. Bit hazy still, but that was to be expected on a day like today. If you saw how densely fogged it was here when I arrived there shortly after 8, day and night difference. Gary Grebe is over here as well. Diving under as soon as he sees or senses that there is a camera pointed in his direction. Triple on the move. Hey there, Bob. Good evening. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all was well. This would be KLM flight 879 to Bangalore in India. Due to the timing, it will be leaving via runway 24 instead of 18 left. Bram wonders if I'll be streaming tomorrow and on Sunday. The plan is to do that. Not sure yet about tomorrow morning. They were saying that tomorrow morning we are getting similar weather as to what we had this morning. Dense fog. Not sure how dense it's going to be. How quickly it'll lift. That's the most important thing. Today things lifted quite rapidly. But the weather should be good tomorrow and on Sunday, so I'm absolutely planning on going out for a stream tomorrow and on Sunday too. Well, there you go, Hans Worst. It's a regional thing, and in some places it opens up quickly, in others it never was foggy to begin with, and in other places it's going to be densely fogged or at least grey the entire day. Fingers crossed for tomorrow. Ooh. Eastjet having taken off from runway 22 just now. PC-12. Pilatus PC-12. Think so. It's looking like it. Hey Martin, good morning. Welcome back, mate. You just arrived at a quiet moment. If you guys arrived later and you haven't seen the first 5 minutes of the show, good to use this time to watch back. We had a Nippon Cargo 7478 taking off via 18 left here, up close. First 5 minutes of the show. I started early. when I saw that airplane on flight radar. Tried to make it, succeeded in doing so. If you missed it, use this time slot to check back that moment. We're killing time here until approximately 11:40 when this runway will reopen again. It's coming and going of airplanes with or without a tug in front of it. Here we have a KLM A321 Neo. It's not showing on flight radar when I am watching with outbound traffic enabled, so it must have arrived here. Today and tomorrow 73 degrees, Steven says, but Monday a high of 43. Over here we are expecting highs of above 60. No, 60 to 70 degrees actually, which for the Netherlands in November is actually quite warm. I'm standing here. I am layered, but I'm not cold. Here in the sunshine, it's actually rather lovely. Oh, airplane overhead. Think that might be going to center now for arrival. Where did I see it? There. Think that might be an arriving airplane for the center runway. Now, full as well, there is an inbound rush hour right now with the center runway and the Polderbaan being open for arrivals. The center runway arrivals we are able to see from here to a certain extent. This is Qatar Cargo, about to land on the center runway. So luckily visibility has improved somewhat. Let me also enable inbound traffic. So runway 24 is now in use for departures. Over there is where they are taking off. Arrivals take place now on the center runway and on the Polderbaan. Sometimes there are biz jets taking off from runway 22, which is to the left of me. Airplanes landing on the center runway we can see relatively well from here, but only short-lived. Eastjet arriving from Milan, for instance, approaching over here. Eastjet flight 3853, arriving from Milan, that's an A319. Lars, guten Morgen und herzlich willkommen. I'm also hearing a helicopter from behind. Let's see if we can spot it. I think there's a helicopter at the police station, which is in the vicinity. Ah, there it is, of the BizJet platform. Bizjet Apron, I should say more appropriately. Now, with this lighting, is it coming this way or is it turning away? I'm inclined to say it's turning away. Go into the light. Oh! That's the Kilo Hotel. Hey, good morning, Ethan. Milatsky, good morning. Tugger on the move. And over here, Fidel Kestrel. Ooh, two. Have a look. Nice. Howdy Wilma, goedemorgen. Well, welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined us. You're watching two Kestrels here at AMS Live. And an arrival passing overhead. KLM flight 1578 arriving from Lisbon, just passed overhead. That's a good question, Ray. Aren't those spikes supposed to keep the birds away? No, I don't think they are. I think this is part of the radar setup. I think those spikes are supposed to be there. But you would be thinking so, wouldn't you? I think it is the antenna design. Hey, good morning, Kitty Bell, who is tuning in from Belgium. Welcome to the show, one and all. If you joined us only just now, have a look at the first 5 minutes of the show. There's not much going on here. We're waiting. We're basically killing time until approximately 11:40, when the runway we are standing at the beginning of will reopen again. Have a look at the first 5 minutes of the stream. If you only joined us just now, you will see a Nippon cargo taking off here from the runway we are standing right next to. Was lovely to see. And if you join us later, you probably missed that. Parallel arrivals in progress, which is why going to this location is something I normally don't do that regularly. But this morning we had low visibility, and with low visibility, this runway gets used more often instead of runway 24. Now, unfortunately, well, luckily, and it's a double-edged sword, because luckily it became sunny and we started to be able to see stuff. But then again, that also meant that normal runway use resumed again. That means that now we are 15 minutes in of a 40-minute stint where the runway we are standing next to is going to be closed. It will reopen again around 11:40. It will stay open until approximately 1 o'clock, and from then till 2, a full hour, not much is going to happen here. Now, killing an hour of no activity here in the immediate vicinity is tricky. I'm pretty sure that it'll bore you. So we'll probably call it a day at around 1 o'clock, assuming that the runway use that they normally use on days like today will be used. Let's have a look while we are here to see what else is in store. We can see runway center arrivals from here, if there are any. First up, let's have a look at the weather. It's always updated in the ticker, but here you can see the visualization. 4 knots of wind, hardly any wind. It's 11 degrees, it's clear. No significant clouds are observed. It is a bit hazy, 9 kilometers of visibility. We don't have a ceiling. It's stable weather, and that means that we have normal runway use for when the winds are blowing from the south. If we filter for just stuff like quad-engined airplanes and retro Transavias, we can see that Jesus is on its way to Paphos. We have an all-white 7478 arriving from Miami, which is expected to land here around 12. The Emirates A380 is expected around 12:16. These two will both land on Polderbaan, most likely, since that will be the only runway open at that time of arrival. So in that sense, we're not missing out on much by staying here and not being at the Polderbaan. I always check to see if there is a lot of traffic coming to the Polderbaan. Today there wasn't, and the low visibility already had me kind of decided that I wanted to go here. Was hoping that we could start early, do a full 4-hour stream from 9 till 1, since they were already using this runway for departures from 7 o'clock, and they were going to do that until 9:20 basically, so continuously in use until approximately 11. But then it cleared up quite drastically and it never went through. Austrian arriving, Austrian flight 313 arriving from Vienna. And after that we are going to see Air Serbia, another A319. Suriname, Tui Dreamliner on radar. Tui Dreamliner flying on behalf of Suriname Airways. We saw the Dows yesterday leaving for Frankfurt, probably for maintenance. Does anybody know when we can expect it to get back in use, I should say? This is Air Serbia arriving from Belgrade. Flight 260, A319, 2 hours underway. The airplane is 21 years old, first flight August 2004. 4 days of maintenance. Good to know. So next week we are going to see the A340 once again, the A340-600. That's where we are losing it, more or less. Now, interesting to see that KLM flight 765 arriving from Bonaire just passed overhead. Didn't hear it, but on flight radar it said so. Looking back to see if I can still find a trace of it, but that's not the case. That looks like it'll become a landing on the center runway, which we ought to be able to see, normally speaking. Is that the helicopter returning? I think it is. I think it is the police helicopter returning to base, or has it left? No, it's it's not returning, it's moving away. More tugging action. That was a copper chopper indeed, Paul. Oh, excavator on the move as well. Meep meep. Meow. Now we can see traffic to the center runway from here much better than Polderbound traffic. We have KM Malta flight 394 arriving from Malta. You'd never guess. The flight time 2 hours and 41 minutes. It's an A321neo. The 9H NE. That's November Echo Hotel. The airplane is a year old. First flight was in July 2024. It's 11:23. That means that we are just over halfway through the period where no action is taking place at 18 left. Luckily here at Schiphol Airport there's always something happening. That's still the silver lining of being here. I think you can see much more than you would at the Polderbaan. Traffic to and from runway 22. Traffic to and from runway center. Overhead traffic. Apron action. The works. Mostly blue skies here. Still a bit of haziness. Nothing significant. Is this the Tui Dreamliner that is flying on behalf of Suriname now? It probably is, isn't it? Let me zoom in a little. I was zoomed out now on Flight Radar so that I could see the traffic going to the center runway. Hey, PH Jet, also back in the chat. Good morning. Now, for those of you joining us later, first of all, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. In 20 minutes from now, this runway will reopen again. No, in 15 minutes from now, actually. We're well over the midpoint already. If you joined us later, you probably missed the 747 Nippon cargo departure that took place in the first 5 minutes of the show. Before action resumes over here, make sure to check that out in replay. First 5 minutes of the stream, where you could see the 747-8 lining up here and taking off. This morning we had very dense fog here. When I arrived here, it was completely gray. Couldn't see a thing. They were using runway 18 left as primary runway for departures, the only runway open. There was a Delta A330 that took off to New York JFK. Didn't hear. I did hear it. I felt it. Didn't see it. KLM Flight 877's engines are being started. Flight 877, 777 to Mumbai. It's a bit early for 877 to be taking off from 18 left already, isn't it? Or will it be taking off from this runway already? That would be nice, wouldn't it? I think it's over there. I think it's giving us a long distance headshot. No wait, that's an A330. Which one is this then? I'm not seeing any A330s being pushed back. Okay. Guess I was mistaken. Is that 877 to Mumbai? I think it might be. KLM Flight 877 to Mumbai. Will it take off from 18 left, or will it still be assigned to runway 24? Or has it already been assigned to runway 24, I should say more appropriately. So pretty soon, this runway is going to open up again. In fact, in just over 10 minutes, on paper, It has happened before that they open the runway early. The runway lights aren't on yet. They are still off. But that might change, of course, in the course of a few moments. United 767 on the move. This is United flight 947, which is going to fly to Washington, D.C. 767-300, 32 years old already. First flight November 1992. Back then, I was still in elementary school for 2 more years. What were you guys doing still in November 1992? Zeker, met jou ook? Mooi. Indie tow in the background. They're unloading it, I think. It's looking like it. KL flight 877 to runway 24. Thanks for looking that up, Maria. So that's not yet going to be taking off via 18 left. I think this is it. Or is it? Where's that KLM flight 636 to Las Vegas? Quite a few wide bodies now having been pushed back and or on the move. Looking behind me to see if I can see stuff coming in for center. There's an Embraer 175. Oh, Pilatus PC-12 is about to land on runway 22. That is on final. Let's have a... Ja, hij is nu nog dicht. Hij gaat om 40 weer open. 40. Geen idee. Hoe laat gaat hij weg en waar gaat hij naartoe? 12 uur? Waar naartoe? Lima. Nee, Lima is runway 24. Dus niet deze. De Kaagbaan. Ja. Pilatus PC-12 having arrived here on runway 22. Jan was about to start kindergarten. Hey Raif, good morning. Alice Mabel says, in 1992 I was working for a wonderful little Aussie airline called Ansett. And whatever happened to that? So many airliners of back in the day that have gone bust. That's a cheerful looking trailer. I like the contrast with the green and the yellow and the red. Maybe I should incorporate that in my thumbnails. Yellow text with red shadows. Extra, extra, extra special. Right, we have an A330 on the move. Which one is that? Oh, that's KLM flight 787 to Sint Maarten. Now, in the meantime, there's a big bird about to land on the center runway. Another A330. Must be the KLM arrived from Bonaire that passed overhead not too long ago. Delta flight 257 to Boston, Massachusetts, also on the move to runway 24. Jurian wasn't even born yet in 1992. And Captain Jerry came back from Iraq for the second time in 92. When was the first time that you went over there? 90 or 91 or something? The only thing I remember from that period is that the F-117 was being used. The stealth bomber. Ah, runway inspection. Bird control working around 18 left. That's a good sign. And if all is well, that means that the runway will reopen again sometime soon. I'm wondering which airplane will be the first departure here from 18 left. I am not seeing. Yeah, no, they haven't put on the lights yet. The lights are still off. More traffic into the center runway. Lufty. Think this is KLM flight 757 to Panama City, 787-10 Dreamliner. Well, a flock of birds is passing by here. This is before the runway threshold still, so that's okay. In the background we have a bird controller doing a runway inspection. So the birds are flying here and not in the runway area, which is good. That's how it's supposed to be. Another Ita. Hopefully we'll be able to see that taxi in front of us in a few moments. Yermot has to go. Thank you for stopping by, Yermot. Enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully see you again later in the weekend. Now pretty soon runway 18 left is going to reopen again. Ita Airways flight 108 arriving from Rome, an A320neo about to land on the center runway. Oh, and the truck with the colorful letters now coming back. For a moment it was looking like it was on airside. I was surprised. Wasn't expecting that. Now luckily it also didn't turn out to be true. Just me not looking properly. Not too busy on the panorama terrace from what we can see from here. Let's see if Welling is still approaching. Oh, there's still a few airplanes that are approaching for the center runway. It is 11:35 right now. So on paper in 5 minutes from now, 18 left should reopen again. Indeed, super eminent. Je ziet de letters stralen. That's a play on word in Dutch. If you see the letters stralen, it means that they are beaming, they are radiating. It's a play on words. Hey Angelique, good morning. Team Ultimate, goedemorgen. Lufthansa 747 on flight level 320 from the north, in the north from east to west. Yeah, a bit further to the north than I thought it was going to be, but it is still flying over there. Wrong cloud probably. Nope, need to be a bit higher still. Old livery, quite clearly visible, the yellow Lufthansa logo over there. That little fucker. Indeed, that little fucker, indeed. Well, thank you so much, Jerome, for the super chat. You didn't have to use a super chat to get that message across. But there it is, the little fucker. Right, I think I am going to switch off the inbound traffic so that I can only see outbound. See what we have. Thus far, wide bodies all going to westerly destinations. In other words, not yet anything that should be taking off via 18 left anytime soon. Now, where was that landing airplane that I saw? Already gone. Still a few arrivals at the center runway before it is going to close again. Nice flock of birds over here. Are they going for the trees or continuing? Not sure. Runway lights are still off. It should change any moment now. More tugging action. Or is it? No, that's definitely being tugged. Peter asks, when do they get rid of the fucker so that the spotters have more room? Have you? You clearly haven't been there, have you? That thing is not standing in the way. That terrace is very big. And that airplane is standing back, so it's not hindering people from looking at the fence. Now, I was looking up, but that is low-level overhead traffic. I'm also spotting higher up overhead traffic that isn't producing a contrail. This is not the airplane that we were hearing, but it is one that was drawing my attention. Is that Air Canada? I think it is. No, wait, that's Lufty, isn't it? Is that a special livery Lufthansa or something? The tail is looking like Lufthansa, but it's also looking like something was on it. Wow, it's 11:41. Junio Air. Ah, have we seen that before? Colorful petals livery. It sounds like an airplane that we have seen once passing overhead before. There's a quad-engined airplane flying east to west south of me, which we can see over here. That is Lufthansa, isn't it? It's a Lufty 7478 question mark. Well, it's 11:41. It's 11:41. And is the center runway closed by now? Let's have another look on flight radar. They are keeping the center runway open a bit longer. From what I can see, it's still attracting a lot of traffic. That's interesting. Bit annoying because it means that this runway is going to stay closed for a bit longer. Let's have a look and see what the expected runway use website says with regards to expected runway use. Assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups, and for all we know, they might be doing a different runway use today. Let's have a look. This is the runway use for the upcoming hours. Let's see. 18 left should be open again for departures from 11:40 until 12:20. From 12:20 till 1, 18 left is open. Then from 1 till 2, yeah, so more or less normal runway use with respect to 18 left. So any moment now, we should see the reopening of the runway. In the meantime, Mehmet just went ahead, gifted the membership, and the recipient is Team Ultimate. Well, Team Ultimate, welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Have fun with the custom emojis. Don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet. And Mehmet, thank you so much for your generosity, mate. That is above and beyond. Ooh, excavator on the cycling path coming my way. A little digger. Can you dig it? Hold up. He's coming for ya. He's coming for ya. Oh. Right, well, the expected runway use says that the runway should open up again anytime now. Looking on flight radar, we can see that there's still ample traffic coming to the center runway for the time being. I think that as long as that will last, we aren't going to see the reopening of 18 left. Now there is a wide body approaching, so I'm looking to see to what extent we can see that already. There's a narrow body preceding the wide body, which is flying right there. That is Norwegian, quite clearly visible. Norwegian flight 2038, arriving from Stockholm. That is in the Jens Mo livery. 737-800. 1 hour and 37 minutes on the way. Sounding like a Bijet is taking off behind me. So a lot of traffic, a lot of inbound traffic, which is why they are apparently keeping the center runway open a bit longer than normally would have been the case. And here is that truck, which is now standing in the way comfortably. Meanwhile, Europa has arrived here from Madrid. Now, behind Norwegian should be a 777-300 arriving from Rio de Janeiro. I think we have it in sight already. There it is. KLM flight 706. Right, the truck is on the move. Or no, it has just only started the engine. Hey Grover, goedemorgen. Groover. Still not sure how to call you. For those of you joining us later, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing at the threshold of 18 left, which should have reopened by now. They are keeping the center runway a little longer open than normally would have been the case. It is looking like traffic to the center runway will come to a halt pretty soon, and I am expecting the reopening of 18 left thereafter. Already around 11:40, this runway should have reopened. Now the truck has gone. Or has it? It's reversing. Reversing at the entrance. Reversing at the entrance of the taxi parking lot. And continuing once again towards P3. Well, thank you so much for your patience, for sticking around here. I am getting bored, extremely. They should have reopened the runway already, and they haven't. The Orange Pride is also over there. Now an unobstructed view of it. Should be leaving pretty soon, actually. Normally speaking, it should be teeming with action here already, but yeah, runway use is a bit different from what the website indicating the expected runway use forecast. I am hoping that this will result in a longer opening of the runway after 1 o'clock. If that's the case, if this runway will stay open between 1 and 2, I will happily accept that. Ah, is this the first airplane coming this way? I think so. Yep. So the runway has reopened and Corondon is the first to be taking off here. Absolutely beautiful. Lovely airplane, full of details. Not very interesting. Not a lot of viewers of the video where we showcase the details of this this airplane earlier. Guess most of you aren't that into tattoos. I also don't have any tattoos, to be honest. But the intricate details are absolutely lovely. This airplane, the livery, was made by a well-known tattoo artist in the Netherlands, Henk Schiefmacher. Right, slowly but surely we are resuming with the action. I'm still waiting for the A350 1000. That should be taking off here from this runway. Love Corondon. It's all tattoos here. You can definitely see this was made by a tattoo artist. The obligatory anchor. True love. True Love, and this is Corondon flight 5155 to Antalya. The wide body, the first wide body has also been pushed back. KLM flight 565 to Nairobi. That's the 787-10, should be coming this way. Gilberto asks, where is that tattoo shop? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure if you Google the name Henk Schiefmacher, you will find it. Hey, Klaas also back in the chat. Good morning, Klaas. Ah, is that so, Groover? Schiefmacher also once did the drum kit of the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer. Single. I am hearing airplanes passing overhead. That's a twin jet, almost directly in my zenith. Alright. Yeah, Corondon is moving. Yep, still in the nick of time. Still morning, Klaas. Goedemorgen. Max 9, 737 to Antalya. Corondon, flight 5155. If you joined us later, welcome to the show first and foremost. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. Are you enjoying the show? Make sure to leave a like. And if you want to see the Nippon Cargo 7478 taking off, head over to the first 5 minutes of the show today. Watch that on replay. I'm hoping we might get to see another 747, but you never know. Hey, Belgian Rail, just got notified. Haven't received a gifted membership. This is the Red Wine Express once again. KLM flight 1443 to Bordeaux. And in the background, a big airplane, a 787-10. That's KLM flight 565 to Nairobi in Kenya, which of course is in Africa. And this is of course the KLM 100 years special livery. Hey there, Ben the Man. Good afternoon. Right, KLM flight 565 to Nairobi in Kenya, which is in Africa. 787-10 Dreamliner, the KLM 100 years, the BKA. 6 years old already, first flight June 2019. The Orange Pride has also been pushed back. KLM flight 743 to Lima in Peru. And KLM flight 873 to Hyderabad in India is also coming this way. That's the 777 in the background. Showtime for the KLM 100 years. No time to waste. The KLM 777 lining up with haste. Aqualet, good morning. Brandon, good morning. Welcome to the show, one and all. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at the threshold of 18 left. Once again in use for departures. We started the day with quite a lot of fog. Luckily, things are now much clearer. It's also lovely and warm. It's not cold by any means. If you guys are enjoying what you're seeing, don't forget to leave a like. It'll help the channel grow. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams and other sorts of announcements. If you joined us later, you probably missed the 747 taking off to, I think it was Frankfurt. Nippon Cargo. First 5 minutes of the show. Watch that back on replay. Lovely to see. Hey there, Mitchell. Good morning. Last minute of morning. This is KLM Flight 873 to Hyderabad in India. 777-200. Tugger also coming to pass by in the foreground. The Kilo Lima. The lads of the Kilo Lima throwing a wave. Sounding like a prop over there. Is there something with a propeller over there? Not that I can see. Next up is Tui. Tui Flight 1635. What is that sound? It's sounding so much like there is a propellered airplane over there. But I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing a thing. Orange Sprite is going to Lima, so that's a runway 24 departure. And here we have Tui going to Gran Canaria, 737-800. Cannot linger too long because there is a lot to see here. Lot flight 266 to Warsaw. It's looking all polished. Bump bump. Air France Bombardier C Series over here. Lovely machine. Going to Paris Charles de Gaulle. Air France flight 1241. Have a look, what a beautiful machine this is. Just like the A350. Let's see what else is coming this way. Narrowbody's Exodus for the time being. Bump bump. Indy Jeff, bouncy departure. Back to the KLM narrowbodies, we have a 737 lined up and we have an Embraer 175 over here. The Embraer is going to Frankfurt and the 737 is going to go to Lyon. More Embraers coming this way. Mike Wild also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. Welcome back. This is KLM flight 1431 to Lyon, 737-800. The Papa Bravo Charlie Golf, 6 years old, first flight March 2019. Does come equipped with a carry cabin, which you can see right there. Meanwhile, we have two Embraers behind one another. In other words, we have Embraer Inception. Two Embraer 175s. The one in the front will be going to Frankfurt. The one in the back will be going to Genoa. Thinking maybe I was hearing the propeller of this airplane earlier. That is looking like the PC-12 that we saw land here earlier. Now that it has cleared the path of 18 left, I'm thinking the 737 will get clearance pretty soon. Yep. Gilberto hopes to get some potassium from the show. Well, you already missed some potassium earlier in the show. We had a 737-700 taking off. That was a banana. Not sure if we're going to see an A300 in today's show. KLM flight 1645 to Genoa. This is an Umbrella 175. Hey Per, also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Umbrella 175, 8 years old, first flight July 2017. I'm actually now filming just barehandedly. Not even gloves necessary. It's lovely weather. The sun is out. And we're also going to see Ryanair. Ryanair over there. Ryanair will be leaving for Malaga. This is a MAX 8 737, flight 2335. Yes, shine the lights. Ryanair, flight 2335 to Malaga. MAX 8 737. Brand new airplane. First flight was July this year. Irish registered, of course. EIIKR, India Kilo Romeo. And next after this will be Tarom to Bucharest. 737-800. Bumper to bump, bump, bump. Hadi Daniel, goedemiddag. And good afternoon to everybody else who may have joined us in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are here at the runway called Aalsmeerbaan. 18 left. The northern threshold. This runway is now in use for departures. Runway 24 is also open for departures. And a guy in a white Audi who apparently wanted to test the acceleration. Or is that a blue sign number plate? Not sure. Surely that wasn't a taxi, was it? Tugger bringing one Embraer to one gate. Here we have Tarom flight 362 going to Bucharest, 737-800. And there is a bizjet taking off. Where is it landing? No, it's taking off. Meanwhile, Tarom is lining up here. Taiwan flight 362 to Bucharest, 737-800, the Yankee Romeo Bravo Golf Lima, 12 years old, first flight March 2013. It's looking like there is an Emirates 777, an Emirates Sky Cargo coming this way. There's Emirates Sky Cargo flight 9920 to Dubai World Center coming this way. Now, if you join us later, you probably missed the first 5 minutes of the show, and that's a shame because in that first 5 minutes there was a 747 taking off from this runway. So while we're waiting for Emirates and other airplanes to arrive here, have a look at those first 5 minutes. Nippon Cargo 747 in the first 5 minutes of the show taking off here. We also saw a DHL 737 not long thereafter. If you guys are enjoying what you've been seeing so far and you want to help this channel grow, make sure to leave a like. It really helps to bring in new people who are also into live aviation but who haven't heard of the channel yet. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams, new polls, new announcements, new pictures and all that good stuff. The A380 is on final for runway 18 right. Hard to see from here. Hard to see from here. I'm already looking behind me to see if I can spot anything that is going to runway 18 right. I think this is going to center. No, wait. 18 right is the only runway open right now, right? So that would, at least we can see already. Don't count on being able to see too much from the A380, guys. This is not the best location to be seeing it. Center. Well, in that case, we should be able to see it. Stuff going to center should still be visible relatively decently. But, is center open? Surely it's not, is it? If all is well, there should only be one runway open. Make the bouncy emoji in yellow and blue. I can still change that, Wolfgang. I can still change that. That is a good suggestion though. Let me look into that. Shouldn't be too difficult to Photoshop that in something more akin to Ryanair. Now I am seeing the A380. I am seeing the A380. Vaguely visible, but there it is. Of course, the landing coinciding with a wide body taking off here from this runway. Interesting that it is going to center because right now there should only be one runway open for arrivals. So center is open. Bump bump. The lighting is rather good. Area 58 vehicle sounding the horn. Now, it's interesting to see that there is an A380 going to the center runway. I am surprised to see this airplane so up close. They're definitely tinkering with runway use, because at this time normally only Polderbaan should be open for inbound traffic. That makes me cautiously hopeful that maybe between 1 and 2 o'clock 18 left is also going to stay open longer, to compensate also for the longer period of time that we had to go without departures here. That would be something, wouldn't it? This is where we will lose the airplane. Here, no longer will we be able to see it. Alrighty. Hey, Ian also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. So center is open according to Flight Radar. That's interesting. This is the vehicle that I want for Christmas, guys. This is what I need for streaming. Check it out. It's like a mobile control room, all closed off from outside influences like rain and wind. I need one of those, guys. Hey, the Arjan, goedemiddag. Arjan coming in with a membership anniversary, celebrating 25 months of membership. Arjan, mate, congratulations and thank you so much for the ongoing support. I hope that everything in the lounge is still to your liking. Do let me know if anything can be improved in your opinion. I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much for the ongoing support, Arjan. Hope you're going to stay around for many more months to come. Ideally as a member, but if as a regular visitor, that's fine too. Thank you, Pete. If I could afford to buy you one, I would. The ultimate stream vehicle. At least that's what it looks like to me. Eastjet to Milan, on their way. Hans' favorite Vueling next to Malaga. Well, indeed, Wolfgang, exactly that. That's why I think that looks like a perfect vehicle for streaming. Closed off if you need to be closed off. But also the possibility to be out in the open. Wasn't there also a little lift and in the front, so you can also get some elevation? That will make streaming internationally very handy. Just lift yourself above any fence work and get clear views regardless of the airport. Right, so this is Vueling Flight 8364 to Malaga, lined up, A320. It's holding short, I'm wondering why that is. I'm already looking to my left. No. No biz jets taking off on runway 22. Hans says it's only for wheelchairs / disabled, so you know what to do. Well, file a complaint for racism. That's what I should do. Those wheelchair people are always so privileged. When do we ever get to use such a vehicle? It's unfair. It's racism is what it is, I tell you. Hey Gilberto, mate. Thank you so much for your super chat. Starting the founding to buy that strange vehicle. Well, every long journey starts with the first step. So thank you, Gilberto, for taking the first step. Here's to many more steps. I'm pretty sure we need plenty of steps to be able to buy such a vehicle. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. It's a multi-purpose vehicle. I think the many benefits outweigh the cons. Indeed, the worst kind of prejudice is prejudice against me. Okie doke. Guy on a motorcycle, I think a Ducati. Entering the parking lot. Where did I see that airplane approaching? There it is. Next airplane is Bulgaria Air to Sofia. The A380 also has arrived by now. Not sure to what extent we can see it from here. Probably only the tail. I think it's still behind the trees. Like saving for a second Ferrari, the first one didn't work out. Yeah. Something like that. Bulgaria Air A320 to Sofia coming this way. Next departure. Now it's supposed to be Bulgaria Air, but it is all white. Doesn't or is it? Well, yeah, it is all white. Bit bland. No, I don't have one of those hooks, Wolfgang. No towing with the C1. Well, the cheerful text truck has returned. Will it continue? Has it unloaded its cargo, or is it going to stop again to look for directions? No, it's continuing. The cheerful leather truck is continuing. This is Bulgaria Air flight 462 to Sofia, operated by Condor. Well, it doesn't say so on the tin. And away it goes. Now, what will be the next airplane coming this way? There's a KLM to Budapest underway. Right there. And there's stuff in the process of being pushed back. Delta Airlines flight 163 is what we are looking at. It's giving us a long distance headshot. That will be leaving for, well, it was giving us a headshot because it's now on the move. And another Delta on pushback. Yeah. Delta Airlines flight 163 to Minneapolis. Now on the move here in the foreground, KLM flight 1367 to Budapest, Embraer 175, the first next departure here. One airplane goes, another one arrives. Don't leave any vacancies for too long here. Turning and burning. KLM flight 1367 to Budapest. Embraer 175, 9 years old, first flight made 2016. Into the light it goes. So much better visibility than in the early morning. Arrived here at 8. Wanted to do an early start so that we could do a stream from 9 till 1. But nature came in the way. You can see it's still hazy, but this morning we had super dense fog. Everything here was gray. Couldn't see a thing, not even a big Delta A330 that took off here to New York this morning. I wasn't able to see. Heard it, felt it even, but seeing it, no dice. Luckily things have opened up. The motorcyclist once again on his way. Unmistakably. Kuwait A330 Neo taxi in from Polder. Think we've seen that before in an afternoon stream, Wolfgang. I don't think they usually arrive this early. Depending on where it's going to taxi to, maybe we will catch a glimpse of it soon. Well, I'm no motorcycle specialist, but I am inclined to say that that was indeed a Ducati, Gilberto. Air Serbia to Belgrade, coming this way. We have an Embraer 175 to Poznan from KLM, also coming this way. Now, where are the wide bodies? We want to see the wide bodies. Positive discrimination for wide bodies here. It's actually getting warm. Let me see if I can undo one layer, my buff. For that I will have to take off my microphone hat. There we go, that just went nicely. Put the transmitter back into my parka pocket. One buff to keep the neck warm. No longer needed. It's November and I'm not even wearing gloves, which for me is quite something. That in November. Lovely day here, hardly any wind, and with the sun being out here all the time, absolutely delightful weather. Tomorrow should be similar. I thought they did mention maybe a droplet here or there. Either tomorrow or on Sunday. I don't remember which of the 2 days they said it might happen. Shouldn't amount to anything substantial. It's more the the fog that I fear, the morning fog. Air Serbia to Belgrade, lined up over here. Flight 261, A319. 21 years old already. KLM A321 Neo. Going to Zurich, KLM flight 1919. And after this, a KLM Embraer 175 to Poznan. It's looking like another Embraer 175 is coming. That should be leaving for Gdansk in Poland. Speaking of Polish and vodka, let me take a small sip. So this is KLM flight 1919 and A321 Neo going to Zurich. And this is the Fax A, the first A321 Neo of the fleet of KLM. Papa Hotel Alpha X-Ray Alpha. First flight already in July 2024. Time goes by so quickly. Bump bump. What's the status quo for the A350 1000? Sure, I'm hoping we are going to get to see it. Don't see anything on... Oh, hey! Ladies and gentlemen, have you seen the 747-8 to Frankfurt having come alive on Flight Radar? Cathay Pacific Cargo is coming this way, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely amazing. Meanwhile, Gary Grebe is still over here. That mother ducker. Ah, I swear, each time I point my camera to him, it's as if he has eyes in his back. He senses it and immediately he dives under. That mother ducker. Can't get away from me, buddy. Gotcha now. You think you can stop me? No one can stop me. Right, KLM Embraer to Gdansk, and the A350 has come alive on Flight Radar. That is good news. Our plane's coming this way. They keep coming. What is this? Oh wait, it's the departure runway. Of course it is. Eastjet to Krakow. Polish Exodus upon us. And it's also looking like there is a private Ecstasy Express leaving soon. Eastjet to Ibiza has come alive on the platform, the general aviation platform. Eastjet lining up to Krakow. And next after that we are going to see Lufthansa flight 2303 to Munich. Is that Chinese triple going to take off via runway 24? Probably it will. Air China Cargo also in the chat. Good afternoon. Good to see you again, mate. China Cargo Airlines to Shanghai has also come alive. I'm not sure if that's going to go to runway 24. I fear not. But it would be nice if it were to come this way. They're all staring, aren't they? Lufthansa in the regular livery A319 going to Munich in Bavaria, which rhymes with Bavaria. Was that Austrian in the background? I think it was. Yep, it certainly was. The German-speaking exodus. Lufty to Munich, flight 2303. Dable, Delta Alpha India, Bravo Lima, 21 years old, first flight January 2004. It seems that we've crossed through 500 likes. Thank you all so much for that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are all enjoying what you've been seeing so far. If you are, don't be shy and add to the likes if you want to help this channel grow. If you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams, upcoming polls and upcoming pictures, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. So there is a 747 on the loose and it looks like it is coming this way. So too the A350 1000 Cathay Pacific. There's an Ecstasy Express moving to runway 22. I think it's moving already. The Ecstasy Express going to Ibiza. Or is this a different airplane? I think this might be a different airplane. No, it isn't. Fancy schmancy jet going to Ibiza. Still climbing out and still has to cross the heading of the runway that Eastjet is lined up on. Once the bizjet has cleared the path, clearance shall be given to the Eastjet, and on the move it will be. Lufty to Munich. Gilberto unfortunately has to go. That is a shame, mate. Thanks for stopping by and hopefully see you again tomorrow then. Enjoy the rest of your day. Over here we're going to stick around for a bit longer because there's plenty more coming. A 747 is underway to this runway, the second of the show. If you came in later, the first 5 minutes of today's show featured the first 747 taking off from the runway that this Lufthansa is now lined up on as well. Nippon Cargo. And next up we are going to see Cathay Pacific Cargo with the 747-8. Also from Cathay Pacific is the A350 1000, which is also on the move and should become visible here pretty soon. The Cathay Pacific 747 has become visible by now, in the meantime. Austrian is also over here lining up. Austrian going back to Vienna. I am hearing a helicopter, and that is the police arriving. Yeah, that's unfortunately where we are going to lose it. This is Cathay Pacific Cargo Flight 2066 to Frankfurt. It is a 7478 and will be the second queen of today's show, taking off from the runway that we are standing right next to. Meanwhile, KM Malta over here, lining up on runway 18 left. Cathay Pacific Cargo over there. Cathay Pacific A350 1000 over there. Will they take off back to back? Wouldn't that be something? Will air traffic control direct both airplanes back to back? Not the Bizjet. I think this is the Ecstasy Express now taking off. Cathay Pacific Cargo Flight 2066 to Frankfurt, immediately being followed by Cathay Pacific, the A350 1000.
Whoa, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
One Cathay Pacific and the next. Cathay Pacific Cargo flight 2066 to Frankfurt 7478 will be immediately followed by an A350 1000, also from Cathay Pacific. Finnair A350 in the background, Cathay Pacific in the foreground, the A350 1000. How's it spotting? Also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Finnair A350 in the background. And here we have Cathay Pacific flight 270 to Hong Kong. A350 1000. Bump, bump. In the meantime, KLM flight 871 to Delhi is lining up here. 777-300 This is KLM flight 871 to Delhi, 777-300 The PHBVD, it used to be Marissa's beloved. It used to be the one in the SkyTeam livery, but as you can see, they've repainted this machine back to standard. It has a small carrying cabin, a modest one in the back. This airplane is 16 years old. Its first flight was in August 2009. One of my favorite airplanes is over here in the foreground. It is the Ita Bombardier C Series. Beautiful livery, beautiful machine. Have a look at that sleek nose. Oozes Bombardier BizJet heritage. Ita Airways flight 121 to Milan, Bombardier C Series 300, or as they're called these days, A220 300s. 2-year-old airplane, Irish registered EHAM. Hope you guys are still enjoying the show. I certainly am having great fun here. It's always lovely here. This location teeming with activity, and the weather today is also perfect. We did begin with a lot of fog, but luckily that cleared up. Center was open longer than normally would have been the case. Normally they should open center again from 1 till 2. I am hoping that this runway will stay in use a bit longer. to compensate for the longer drought of departures that we had earlier in the morning. Pate also back in the chat. Hey Pate, what up mate? Next up will be a Swiss A320 to Zurich, flight 731. So there are 3 more airplanes over here, and I wonder, will those be the last? No, there's still an airplane destined to go to Paris on their way. So let's see, we have this airplane over here, we have 2 more over here. Star Alliance livery, Swiss to Zurich, flight 731. A320, 28 years old already. First flight March 1997. What? Mihir is tuning in from India. Welcome mate. Hope you're doing well. It's looking like the A350 from Finnair is lined up on runway 24. Still not on the move, the A350 from Finnair. Okie do, let's see, that was the A320 to Zurich. The next airplane will be to Istanbul, KLM flight 1959. Lining up. And we have a Bombardier C-Series 300 over there, Air France. That's going to Paris and is using Cheater's Lane. You bloody cheat. Air France flight 1341. Hey mates, goedemiddag, good afternoon. Welcome to the show, one and all. Lovely day here today, the sun is out. That wasn't the case in the early morning. Grey monotony, dense fog. Luckily things cleared up relatively quickly. And the cheater on Cheater's Lane to Paris is going. 1997 is when Adri began with a new job. I was still in middle school for another 3 years. Busy learning English, Dutch, economics, geography, history, oh yeah, and Latin. Embraer over there, not showing on flight radar, nor is this airplane. Hans Worst has to go. See you later, Hans. Thanks for stopping by and enjoy the rest of your day, mate. Looking on flight radar with a filter on for outbound traffic, it is very calm. This was Caleb at 1959 to Istanbul. Once they clear the black zone, the dark spot on the map where there's no reception here at the threshold, they do pop up eventually. KLM flight 1921 is going to Zurich. Now I'm wondering which runway has it been assigned to? What does CDM say? Russell is also saying hi to everybody from his light mast. What is it, 50 or so meters away from me? So the landing lights were off, have been off since the sun is now higher above the horizon and visibility has improved. In other words, we cannot judge if the runway is still open based on what the landing lights are doing, the runway lights are doing. KLM to Frankfurt is already lining up at runway 24, which leads me to believe that maybe KLM flight 1921 to Zurich will also be going to runway 24. What does CDM say? Hey Ronaldo, goedemiddag. Stefan, goedemiddag. KLM flight 1503 to Madrid, normally speaking also a destination that takes off from the easterlymost runway. E2 Embraer to Belgrade, that should also be an airplane that is normally taking off from the easterlymost runway. I'm thinking 18 left has closed. Let me go on to CDM myself quickly. Mobile, EHAM, CDM. What was the flight number? Well, let's do 1983 to Belgrade. 1983 to Belgrade. Right, well, I'll show you. EHAM CDM, this is the E2 that is going to Belgrade. It has been assigned runway 24. In other words, 18 left is now closed and will stay closed for an hour expectedly. Means that it is about time to wrap up. Wolfgang says A330 to runway 22. I think it has already landed. I think it has already landed over there. So in other words, even though, well, basically what happened today is that we got screwed because the runway didn't reopen at 11:40, but more towards 12 o'clock, which means we've been robbed of 20 minutes of departures today. Maybe that is why Russell was so vocal. He is saying, it's a bloody it's a bloody shame. Well, calmness here on this end of Schiphol has resumed and it's going to stay like this for an hour, so I think I'm going to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. No point in staying around here if nothing is happening until 2 o'clock, maybe even later, who knows. So I think I'm going to wrap up. Hopefully I'm able to go out again tomorrow morning. I'm looking to go out tomorrow morning, but I'll have a look, see how densely fogged it is. Today too, I went out and hoped that it would clear, or that at least when arriving here at Schiphol it would be somewhat decent. I'm definitely going out for a stream tomorrow. I'm also definitely going out on Sunday, weather permitting, so hopefully I will see you all then. A massive big thank you for joining me here today. I had a wonderful time. Hope you guys did too. Don't forget to add to the likes if you have liked what you saw but you haven't dropped a like yet. It really helps to bring in new folk that are also into live aviation and banter like you guys are. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and turn on the bell icon to stay notified of everything going on the channel. For now, I'm going to say goodbye. A massive big thank you for all the support, for all the likes already given, for all the super chats, super stickers, for the gifted memberships, for those who became or renewed their own memberships, for the PayPal purchases and the PayPal donations and the merch shop purchases. In the meantime, also a massive big thank you to the moderators who helped to keep the stream safe and accessible to all. Once again, I am looking forward to seeing you all in good health tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go out and enjoy some sunshine if you are in a part where the sun is out. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now, guys. Take care.